And here we are again. It's Sunday the 25th of August. Now this should be very simplistic, but it's actually get to be more complicated but more enjoyable, because PowerDirector Android app 53, hue, simple, and apply settings to all clips on the same track. So there's two things we're covering. Let's have a look at something first of all, and that means is that if you can clearly see, if I select this area which is this grey slide, it's actually not grey at all, and that's because I've already applied something. So I'll tell you where we are on the timeline. So for an example, one of the things we're looking at, if you notice, let me just play it there, just gonna, yeah, the third one down on the left, apply settings to all clips on same track, and then if I just play that a tiny bit, I'll just get a focus in a little bit on that one, and there it is. This is the thing to look for. It's two rectangles with an arrow from left to right, third one down near the circle reset, apply settings to all. Now what happens is this, because it's pretty freaky actually, it's pretty nice, and that is if you see the center background layer, in theory that is orange, but it's gone to be this like kind of like weird sort of off-whitey greeny sort of vignetted thing, and I'll tell you why. So let me play something which is the pretty, I'm not going to say space age, let's say that it is something like a night vision fallow deer feeding. Look, there we go, look, night vision. It's not night vision, it's in the middle of the day, but this is what I've done as an example, and it's actually worked out pretty okay. So what you've got here is some fallow deer which are just on the edge of the wood, and in a moment you're going to see this one jump up, literally, I'll just keep talking because it's quite an interesting clip anyway. Looks up once. I'm stood there in the middle of the field in the middle of the day. I look over to my left and suddenly see some action going on there where the fallow deer is up. Chew, chew, chew. Notice all these other branches here do not have any leaves on, and there's a second take with a meal, and it carries on like that. But this is the deal that I'm getting to. So if we just pause that and come out. Now what you'll notice on the timeline, if I just shrink in, and this is what I'm saying about apply to all, because they gave you very, very little advice in the update from PowerDirector. So in other words, I've clearly got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 clips. Now the last one, you notice that this one in the middle there is whatever settings are on it. So if I click it, and then I'm going to go into edit in a moment, but the reason I'm doing it this way is because the last one that I have added, because I had my clips on the timeline, I applied to everything. What I didn't realise that the apply settings to all means that my background orange goes that colour and my grey goes a reddy colour, because I've applied to it. I thought for some naive reason that apply settings to all would mean all on the right of the timeline in the future. That's just my assumption. You know, they say do not make assumptions. So in other words, if I've clearly got this clip which is in the daytime in the field, and you can see that there's 4 or 5 fallow deer stood about the place, I want to copy those settings over to the identical. So what I can do is tap the previous clip, it could be any clip along here, tap and then hit edit, and then after that hit colour, because this is what we want to do. We want to say that I've actually got a modern, I've got some freaky brightnesses. This is just a demo, and this is the thing about one of the things, when I say demo, I mean I've just messed around with the saturation and contrast. But going back to hue, which is super simple, is when you open colour, it says brightness, contrast and saturation. You have to keep scrolling to get to hue under the bottom here of 173, and I'm not going to touch the dial right now, but because quite honestly, if you open it up and you go to all of your artistic video clip settings, or to even white balance, which is simplistic because it's got colour, temperature and tint, the middle one, brightness, contrast, you would be forgiven, I would say, from a user's point of view, from figuring out that there is a scroll bar down here. And the only reason I was looking for it is because the Google Play Store update from Cyberlink PowerDirector said, oh, by the way, now you've got hue. So I went looking for it, and that's when I saw top left, look, third one down, the apply to all. So what I'm going to do here, just to repeat, and I know this sounds like a real mouthful, is what I've got is I've got all the settings, and I'm now going to hit apply to all. Now that has gone off and has gone through my whole timeline we know that most of them have got those copy settings, but the last clip definitely did not. And now it goes over and it's got the same night vision-y type stuff going on. I know it looks slightly different, but if you interrogate that clip by clicking select and hit enter and then color, then you go in and it's got modern, it's got and it should have hue at 173. If I was going to change the hue up and down just to demonstrate it, 100 is the center, more or less. That's the green clip because it's in the middle of the day. And then if I go down, this is what hue does. It just changes the color of the clip. I've tried to Google what hue is all about, and I don't really know. It's just, you know, the hue. I don't know, you do this and you get a load of dialy bits on it. So when I did 173 as a demo, enter, that's where I would argue in a sort of creative way. If you get stuck whatsoever, you just hit the refresh and it goes back to the beginning. So I guess what we could argue is to say that if I, let's try and get this right, go back as the final thing, and I want to be thorough here, because if I go into this clip here and say I actually want my grey back, because I did it by accident, where's it gone then? Oh my god, I can't get it back. I can't have a reset on that. What about that one? No, I can't, can I? So with this one, if I wanted to get that one back, all I do is hit edit, and I hit colour, and then I get it. So that's interesting. Maybe that's a bug report or a feedback to Cyberlink saying, hey, by the way, when you hit apply to all, everything on the track changes, including your colour slides, which you can't get back. Interesting. So anyway, look, let me leave it there, because I think I might send that feedback to Cyberlink. So there, look, just to repeat, look, you go in colour selector, fine, I can go selector and I want my orange. I want my orange. And then I go back and it's not giving me the orange because it's already applied the same. Okay, fine, look, I'm going to end it there. Happy Sunday to everyone. Good luck with, what was it we did? 53, it was hue and apply settings to all. This makes it pretty powerful and pretty advanced. I would say that there are apply settings to other bits, but there isn't. So in other words, skin, softener, sharpness and a few of the others do not have the apply. I am rambling, so goodbye.